Hi, welcome to Debugging with Dan. Today we have an interesting bug to fix because I think it's the first bug that we've had that's in the init.php file, which is a lot different than all the other files because we absolutely assume that this file has been customized because it has people's database credentials in it. It's what's generated automatically during setup, and so the fact is I cannot patch it. I cannot issue a patch to just say, hey, replace your init.php with this init.php. The problem is that as we moved files around, it was saying redirect to verify.php when we really need to redirect to users verify.php. So we can make one change really quickly. If I come in here to the code, you can see that that line is in two different places. It's in verify.php and it's in init.php. This one is really easy to change. As I just kind of come here, I can make the change to users slash verify.php, and that should be fine. And that's it. I'm going to add that to my changed files, verify.php. Now the problem comes in with the init, and so all we need to do is basically make a way for us to check that exists. Now the reason why that error would exist is if someone installed UserSpice from version 4.1.3 or before, and future versions won't have that problem. So what we need to do is we're in new versions, we need to check to see if somebody has the wrong redirect.php. So the way we're going to do that is, I feel like the way to stick something like this where you're going to add an extra query is to do it in a place that is not going to come up unless it's absolutely important. And so we're going to look at um, the email settings, because you would not, like most people, it doesn't matter that this is a bug because they're not verifying email. But if you're verifying email, it's a big deal because your users are going to get a 404 error or something along those lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and I'll show you what I did. I just started Googling and I looked at Stack Overflow, which is where a lot of great solutions come, and I saw this one. For our situation, I think this is super simple. We're not trying to write a full search algorithm or anything like that. And so I'm going to take this answer and I'm going to come in here and in the PHP goes here thing, I'm going to paste that query. Whoops. I think let me, yeah, there we go. I'm going to make sure I got that right because I don't think I did. And I'm going to copy, and I'm going to come in my code, and I'm going to paste it right here. And now I have this thing, what to search for. And so what we're going to search for is redirect to verify.php. And the file that we're going to look for that in is init.php. Excuse me, init.php. And then so if it, we're going to do a for each, and we're basically going to have it go line by line through init.php and look for that string. And if it is not equal to false, which means if it's equal to true, then it suggests that we echo out this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just as a test, we're going to use a UserSpice command called bold, which basically puts a giant black bar at the top of the page. And we're going to, because I know it's going to get covered over by the header on a few things, we're going to go ahead and do a few manual breaks. It's bad PHP, but it's an error message, so that's fine. And then I'm just going to put you have an error. Okay, and so we're going to save this. And now what's going to happen is, if you go to, let me close this one. Let's go here. If you go to localhost to UserSpice 4.1.4, we go into the admin panel. We're going to go here, and you're going to see that I have an unexpected verify. So let's see what happens. Line 28. You guys probably caught that because you're way better than I am. So, oh, that's the problem. So we have the quote issues. So we're going to make this double quotes, and we're going to make this double quotes. And of course, it's auto doing that. So here we go. Now we can come back here and save. And it says, I have an error. I have a bug. I must have had some old code in here. So I thought I deleted all that when I was testing this fix out before. Yeah, so we can get rid of this. This is somehow I pasted that in there twice. So anyway, so now let's see here. Let's delete this for a second. Okay, so I have an error, and so we're going to give a more descript error message. You have a bug in your init.php that cannot be patched automatically. Please replace. Let's see about this. We're going to do the. We got a bunch of quotes going on here. So please replace verify.php with users verify.php toward the bottom of your init.php file. Okay, so the reason why this is an okay error and why it's okay to make something this jacked up and this ugly is because if you are in the, let's go ahead and add a couple breaks in there. Let's do this after automatically. That's good. I mean, we're not. So basically, if you're in the email settings, then if you're in the email set, let's go ahead and add another break there. That bothers me. If you're in the email settings, then that means that you are considering turning on the verify their email. And so you need to know that if you have an error in your init.php file, I mean, you could have upgraded all the way from version 4.0, and you could have a really old init.php file, and you need to know that there's an error in there. So now what would happen is if I were to come in here and edit my init.php file, there's nothing too secure in mine. So let's scroll down here. Somebody told me it was at the bottom. I actually haven't looked. Okay, so now if I change this to users/verify.php, that string is no longer going to match. And when I refresh this page, that error is going to go away. So in my mind, that's a nice quick way to not modify people's code automatically, not break all their inits, but let them know if they have this outdated code that needs to be changed in there. So I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you think through some logic of how to fix the unfixable.